You've probably seen this face around YouTube. It's approximately in 70% of recommended videos, and whether you like it or hate it, it has become a part of YouTube. What if I told you that creators using this are falling into the biggest mistake any creator can fall into? But before I explain why it's an issue, I need to explain where the face came from to begin with. On the 12th of November 2013, a young boy from North Carolina doing YouTube for fun, realizing something really special about YouTube.
Some YouTubers, ad revenue, he was hacked and it was leaked, and it showed that he made like 300 grand over 3 years. And I made like 2 videos on that, and I was just so shocked. I was like, guys, and I remember like telling everyone I know, and they're all like, who cares? I was like, guys, YouTubers can make money.
And hence the obsession with growing on YouTube started. So he sets off on this journey to try to make YouTube his full-time career.
People are like, okay, well, what are you gonna do after high school? And I'm like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber.
And he tried so many different types of videos. Vlogs, counting to 10,000, cutting tables in half, and even reading the script of the B movie. Yes, the entire script.
You like jazz?
But his obsession with YouTube was different than most creators. It was not a creative obsession, but a strategic one.
One thing I think I've learned about you, just spending time with you here, is that you love strategy.
I do, so
you
much.
love strategy.
So over time and through careful analysis, his niche was born.
And when people ask me what type of videos I make, I always respond with, my videos are just super random. It's really how I feel that day. And then they respond with, bro, just tell me, what type of videos do you make? And then I'll be like, it's just random. My channel's not known for anything. I'm just really random.
But what was interesting to see is that progression of strategy throughout his thumbnails. At some point, he realized that the exaggerated face in his thumbnails worked really well with his niche. And if we look at the thumbnail closely, this kind of makes sense. Because people's eyes are naturally attracted to faces, and the exaggerated features cause an emotional reaction early, even before someone clicks on the thumbnail. And it's still visible on a tiny mobile screen. So finally, MrBeast had landed on an amazing strategy that worked for his content and his thumbnails. And the rest was history.
We hit 100 million subscribers! Let's go!
But I don't think even he expected so many people to use his thumbnail strategy. And the problem is, people misunderstood the entire strategy. And because they misunderstood it, they started implementing the same thumbnails and started asking, why aren't we having similar success? Well, it's simply because the strategy was never about the actual face. If you look at the way MrBeast approached YouTube throughout his content and obviously throughout his thumbnails, he was trying to do one thing, and it's stand out. But when people today are copying his thumbnails, they are doing the literal opposite of what MrBeast was trying to do, which is exactly why you're not going to get the same viewership.
A lot of times, people, oh boy, it's like they think their videos are better than they are, honestly, and
Tell him, Jimmy, tell him!
So while he and other YouTubers keep pioneering in the YouTube space, you keep copying them, they keep growing, and you keep asking yourself why the YouTube algorithm hates you. It's not because it hates you, it's because the viewers have already consumed that type of content.
Just more of the same.
But standing out is really difficult. Or at least, that's what most creators seem to think.
I understand what it's like to be different.
It might seem like it's hard to stand out because you're creating content in such a saturated market, where people have millions of videos to turn to, and other platforms like TikTok and Netflix where they can still consume more content. So how can your video stand out amidst all of that competition? Well, at the end of the day, videos and content in general is about solving problems. And I would even say that copycats are making it even easier to stand out. Because within an industry, 80% of the videos just look identical. The same type of thumbnail, the same topics, the same problems, and the same solutions. Deciding to go on your own path by finding unique questions to answer, or finding unique ways of answering already existing questions, will propel your channel to new levels. That means before you film the video, you need to be thinking of ways to stand out. And the easiest way to stand out is by just being yourself. I think that most copycats are just scared to be themselves. So they think by hiding behind another YouTuber's persona, they are going to be able to get views without having to be themselves. In my opinion, the industry has enough MrBeasts, enough PewDiePies. What the industry is lacking is you. So make the videos you want to make, that you think are going to be good videos, with your jokes, your personality, your editing style, your thumbnail style. And while you can learn fundamentals from other YouTubers, don't just copy them because you're afraid to do your own thing. Gather your own data and find ways to make you stand out.
So like an example would be like, we used to have this series where we'd go to random people that are streaming and just donate $10,000 and film their reactions. It was like, so I would just like pick a random streamer that's like has 5 viewers and just donate 10 grand and it'd pop up and they'd freak out. People love that. Yeah. And then we would do another one where we just donate $1,000 every time people blinked, but we wouldn't tell them. And so they don't know why these don't. And we just did like 12, 13 of them. They all went super viral and people fucking loved them and they were crushing. But then we stopped doing it and we pivoted to doing like Last Sleep Circle and we did another thing. And that's an instance where most YouTubers probably would have done like 100 of those. Like they were getting 10, 20 million views a pop at the time. But the thing is, if I was still just doing that to this day, I'd be a nobody. I wouldn't be sitting here. Like you have to see the future and be like, you know, I can't do this forever. This, 12, 13, that's probably enough. Sure, I can milk a few more, but we need to start innovating and find the next series.
What's the level up?
Yeah, exactly.
And because you're finally going to be doing your own thumbnail styles, maybe watching this video will give you some ideas on where to start. I'll see you guys in the next one.